2023 has been a pretty stacked year so far, becoming a sneakily epic year for us here on PlayStation. But there is so much more to come that could genuinely mark 2023 down as one of the greats. Hello there everyone, this is Aidan from Push Square, and just to cover my own back, you all know the dates can change, we're used to delays by this point, but let's have our fingers and toes crossed as we break down the 15 PS5 games that we've still to look forward to in 2023. Immortals of Aveum is a magical first-person shooter. EA Games is going big with this AAA title that is aiming to impress with a lore-filled world to soak up, controller-crunching magical combat to master, and more sparkly graphics than your PS5 knows what to do with. It's coming to PS5 on August 22nd after its recent delay, and while I'm not sold on its story, it'll be nice to play a big-budget single-player FPS title like this. It's got the From Software logo slapped on it, so it gets our attention. Those are the rules. Armored Core 6 is swapping out the fantasy world of Elden Ring for a smoke-filled sci-fi one, where you'll be at the helm of rocket-fueled mechs, armed to the teeth with machine guns, rockets, and even melee weapons. Despite their apparent size, this is a tight-knit, fast-paced game, and with elements of customization to your mechs, we're sure there will be a brilliant depth to combat too. It's From Software, come on! If you've ever fancied the idea of playing as a Watch Dogs DedSec agent, fighting against a Division agent whilst also playing as someone from the Far Cry series, then I mean it's a very niche idea that you have there, but it's exactly what you're getting with X-Defiant, Ubisoft's latest hero shooter. Now this one doesn't actually have a release date at this point other than the summer release window, but it's coming to both PlayStation 4 and 5. It's been in and out of beta over the last few months and will be continuing to do so up until its eventual release, which we're expecting to land around September. But having checked out the previous beta, it's a really fun arcadey shooter akin to old school COD, and with a roster of Ubisoft franchises to pull from, it's sure to keep things fresh and not just the mechanics and weapons department, but also the maps that you're playing in. This is just a theory, but Ubisoft is technically making Avatar, so could it have a Pandora map? I'm just saying it'd be a cool idea. Anyway, moving on, ditching boats and planes, the Crew Motorfest marks the third outing for this racer series, which is definitely making a bit of a tonal shift that is very reminiscent of Xbox's Forza Horizon series. So it's set in a Hawaiian archipelago during an always renewed Motorfest. You have all manner of cars to experiment with, and the game's going to try to entrench you in the various car cultures of the world with intense driving races, thematic campaigns, and various competitive live events. You can start those engines when the Crew Motorfest drifts onto PS4 and 5 on September 14th. Just a handful of days later, Mortal Kombat 1 makes its way to PS5. This is a current gen only entry in the franchise, and it's pushing things graphically to the bloody limit with a revitalized roster and an essentially rebooted storyline. There's a new cameo system, the combat feels a little bit slower but refined, and of course there are plenty of new fatalities. I mean, who doesn't love a bit of Mortal Kombat? It arrives on PS5 on September 19th. Fatality. On the same day, Lies of P launches on both generations, offering a Souls-like experience molded into a dark version of the tale of Pinocchio. That means you'll be facing off against many mechanical foes, which have gorgeous designs by the way, all while testing out a challenging and brutal combat system and trying to fulfill Pinocchio's dream of becoming human. September 21st will see the launch of Payday 3, the co-op heister that's looking to refine and improve upon the formula of this cult classic FPS series. Plan out your heists with your team with tightened up gameplay, where stealth is the aim of the game. But of course, be ready to start blasting when all things go sideways. This is a Michael Mann's Heat-inspired experience and one of those surprise announcements for me this side of the year. Rounding out September on the 26th, we have the long-awaited Cyberpunk 2077 DLC, Phantom Liberty. We know that CD Projekt Red don't dish out these expansions lightly, and that only seems to be continuing with Phantom Liberty. With the continuation of V's story, it'll pit players in an espionage storyline featuring none other than Idris bloody Elba. But more excitingly, and yes, even more so than Big Driss, is that Phantom Liberty will also mark the arrival of a huge update for the main game, hopefully improving it even more so than it has been over the last couple of years. Assassin's Creed Mirage is taking the series back to basics with this scaled back entry, which is reflected in the price, that'll take deeper inspiration from the first AC game. This will be a welcome bit of news to the players just like myself that loved the RPGified trilogy but just didn't have the time to play them for hundreds of hours. With the smaller but dense setting of Baghdad, it'll be great to experience a more focused Assassin's Creed game, and you can do so on PlayStation 4 and 5 on October 12th. Lords of the Fallen is a spiritual successor and reboot to 2014's game of the same name, which for those unfamiliar is a dark fantasy action RPG. The new game, which launches on ps5 on October 13th, will allow players to explore two vast parallel worlds whilst wielding ungodly powers in fast and fluid combat. There will be character customization, online multiplayer, and it looks incredible on the PS5 with some wild enemy and environment designs. The game I am personally most excited for in 2023 is Alan Wake 2, a long-awaited survival horror sequel from the team behind Control. This is as twisty and turny as it gets, all with a Resident Evil 2 styled claustrophobic third-person perspective and some seriously impressive visuals. You'll play as both Alan Wake and FBI agent Saga in a mysterious continuation of the 2010 game, which is said to take inspiration from the HBO show True Detective. Honestly, it's like they're making this game for me, so you know where I'll be when this one launches on PS5 on October 17th. The big one. October 20th will see the PS5 launch of Spider-Man 2, a game that will let you play as both Miles Morales and Peter Parker, seamlessly switching between the two whenever you please. It's got new powers, new mechanics, a brand new story featuring Kraven the Hunter, and of course, why not just throw in a little bit of Venom in there for good measure? Honestly, there isn't much more to say about it here other than, can it be October 20th already? Fans of Metal Gear rejoice as the Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 1 makes its way to PlayStation 5 on October 24th. Honestly, can October chill? Anyway, what better way to describe it than just saying what's in it? In this collection you can expect to find Metal Gear, Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake, Metal Gear Solid, Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of Liberty, Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater, and Snake's Revenge, along with a bunch of bonuses like screenplays, graphic novels, and original soundtracks. It's the full package for lovers of the series and newbies alike. We already had Like a Dragon Ishin make its way onto our top 10 games of the year so far list, so there's potential for a double whammy here. Like a Dragon Gaiden, the man who erased his name, which is quite the title, will release on PlayStation 4 and 5 on November 9th. It'll follow Like a Dragon protagonist Kiryu as he embarks in an action narrative filled with bone-shattering combat, vibrant locations, and in typical Yakuza fashion, plenty of exciting characters and activities. And to round out the list, we have another one that I am personally very excited for. Avatar Frontiers of Pandora is kinda looking a bit like Far Cry Pandora Edition, but genuinely, I think that's a really exciting prospect. You'll play as a Na'vi who is awakened from a 15-year stint in cryosleep and are thrust into a conflict with those pesky humans from the RDA. It's set in the open western frontier of Pandora, previously unseen in the movies, and will take place between Avatar and Avatar The Way of Water. The first-person perspective seems a little bit off for me for its setting, but Pandora will no doubt look gorgeous on the PS5 when this game launches on December 7th. And those are the 15 games still to come to PS5 in 2023. Let me know down in the comments what your most anticipated is. And while you're down there, why not leave a like on the video? And if you enjoy this kind of content, you could also subscribe to the channel for more PlayStation video content. Anyway, thank you everyone for watching. I've been Aiden, this has been Push Square, and I'll see you in the next one.